Traders, stop taking trades without a plan and listen up. Bitcoin right now is in an extremely unstable situation and people are scared. Okay. Bitcoin is going nuts. The altcoins are getting hit and fear is heavy. Confidence is thin. Even though in situations like this, I am still taking trades. In fact, in just today alone, I found this trade in Chainlink, which we're going to be talking about. And I took the trade in the middle of this uncertainty because it's about the price structure. And it showed me an opportunity, even in this messy market. So I will show you the bigger picture today and how I'm navigating this environment, which is very important in this situation because when you have no plan, this can really drive you nuts. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where Bitcoin and Ethereum are sitting on the higher time frames, why this move is not random, and how I'm thinking about structure, order blocks, and retracements from here. We're going to look at Bitcoin from the big picture perspective, Ethereum from a clean trade standpoint, and you'll understand why I'm not rushing into trades and why patience matters most right now and what levels will decide the next move. Let's go! So, guys, first, before we get into this, do me a favor. Find the if you find this analysis helpful, make sure you click the link in the description. You just simply go click the link on the bottom of the description here, and you will see it right here. Okay, click on the subscribe button as well. It really helps out the channel. And go to make sure you check out the free Telegram channel because that's where you find all the updates and everything else for the trade ideas, especially for that link trade that just came out. Check it out. All right, now before we get into the charts. Let's first begin with some of the news items, shall we? Because you need to be aware of what's going on in the macro. Now, President Trump, that's right, folks. He just said that he's about to sign the crypto market structure bill, which is also known as the Clarity Act. That's policy level clarity getting closer. Let's take a quick listen.
I'm also working to ensure America remains the crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year I signed the landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom. And I did it for two reasons. Number one, I thought it was politically good, and it was. I got tremendous political support. But more importantly, China wanted that market too. It's just like...
All right, that's enough. China's a scam, folks. China. So anyway, but look, that's great, right? This is coming from the World Economic Forum, and that's where he's at right now. There's nothing wrong with this. This is very bullish, right? The point is, in the midst of all of this selling, this is pretty amazing stuff. That's policy level clarity getting closer. All right, next one. What do we have here? At the same time, Binance just bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin for their reserves, right? This guy he's not scared. He's buying the pullback, right? Frank Ed, you have something to say? I'm a dial. Oh, okay. He's got nothing to say today. Let's move along. It's your friend over here, Frank. All right. Anyway, so and when the largest players in the industry are putting on more Bitcoin to their balance sheets during the fear, that tells you something. That's a very important sign. You can't lose sight of that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, we have Grant Cardone, right? A billionaire publicly said he plans to launch the world's largest property-backed Bitcoin company in 2026. Let's take a quick listen.
Bitcoin treasury company in the world. And real revenue, real income, real cash flow, a real use. It comes with depreciation and it comes with a bunch of Bitcoin. And then every month we buy Bitcoin out of our free cash flow.
How much Bitcoin do you expect to end up with by the end of this quarter? Are you expecting to buy more?
We'll have 3,000. We'll have 3,000 pieces by the end of this year.
Wow. Okay, that's all we need to hear. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Sounds to me like he's trying to compete with someone we know, right? That's right, but he'll never catch up to me. I'm doing deals with this guy, but he knows who the boss is around here. Okay, Michael. All right. So he's not gonna outdo me. I will outdo him any day of the year. All right, great. You two will make a good couple. Great pair. All right, let's move along. But this is big news. Okay, this is big news. Now let's get into the weekly chart here, and let's start with that. Now on this time frame, Bitcoin has broken below the 100 period exponential moving average, as you can see here on this with this purple line here, right? But that's important because it tells us momentum is shifted. Right now, there are two major order blocks on this chart. You can see here, right? The bearish order block around the 90K level, and we have the bullish order block around the 60K level. And here's the key point. Between the current price and that bullish order block, there is no strong, clearly defined support. There's one area around that 67,000 to 70,000 area. I've talked about the 73,000 area numerous times, and we still haven't pushed into there yet, right? This is one of those areas. This is where where the spike is not where the positions are built, right? Real positions, real accumulation happen around the $60,000 to $65,000 area, because you can see that based on the order block back here. That is where the bears are converted to buyers, meaning they get caught and they get squeezed. That's what makes a fundamentally strong order block. So if Bitcoin is failing, it's becoming cheaper and more attractive. That's the area you're looking for. Let's move along to the next chart here. So on the Bitcoin daily time frame, this is where we saw the formation of that bearish order block develop, and we saw the trend line break. That tells us that the price has moved clearly into the next bearish price objective, right? You see that here. And even though in this bearish market, this is a retracement, this retracement actually would look bullish when you look at it from the larger time frame. So sentiment will temporarily shift, and that retracement is not something to overreact about. Yes, it looks ugly on this time frame, but again, that's a key level, and these key levels are often inflection points where a reversal is highly likely. On top of that, look at this relationship between the current low and the previous low. There's a relationship there. This new low is not that much further from this previous low, which can turn into a failed low at a key level. So that's a prime area to be watching. Don't be scared of this. You should be looking for opportunity. Let's jump over now to the 4-hour time frame. And again, this is where we get more detail. This is where trade ideas come from, right? Now, first, price pushes above the 80,739 area, right? Once it pushes above there, that tells us that we have our retracement momentum. That's not the change of trend, right? Because there's a broader structure that needs to be cleared for that. So when we have our momentum shift, this is where an opportunity begins to develop, and you have to wait for levels to be reached. We have this mid 80,000 area, right? Around 84,000, 85,000. It can even push up into the 88,000 area, which was a key level recently. You should be very familiar with that level. If price fails around there, or even around 86,000, then you have a potential short setup, and you need to be prepared for that. If it continues through, right, and it actually pushes through the 90,000, which is going to be an extremely heavy resistance, then we have our change of structure. So this is important because this is where expectations are shifted, or this is where expectations have to be shifted, right? So be prepared for both scenarios. Let's move along here. Now, real quick, what I want to do is I just want to run through the update you on the trade challenge. And what I want to point out here is we started out with the $10,000, right? This is a $10,000 to $100,000 trade challenge. We've had 2 winning trades, 1 losing trade. Hey, that happens, right? That puts the win rate at 6.67%. The losing trade was a small loss, only a 0.5% risk, and the winning trades returned about 2% or more each. That's what we want to see. Because of that imbalance between reward and risk, the account is still currently sitting around $10,446, right? And that's an overall gain of 4.46%. And that's with the loss. So the profit factor is around 9.46, which is very good at this point, right? Keep the losses small, and you want the winners to be greater. That is the formula for a profitable account, right? And the equity curve continues to move the right way. And by the way, all these trades are taken on the WeX platform. Just so you know, make sure to check that out because it's a great platform and all that. Now, let's move along to Link, because this is the trade idea. This was shared in detail in the Telegram channel. So if you're not in there, you're missing out on the details. But let's run through this real quick. So this trade overall, right, the broader market, as we know, is very bearish. And you always get retracements because markets don't move in straight lines. And here it is. This is our retracement. This is what we're looking for. You see the trade information right here, right? So where this trade is now, the trade idea is active, and this is on the 30-minute time frame. So it gave an important signal. These spikes matter because often they expose short-term exhaustion. Now, after the move, price started to consolidate, right? And gradually it starts pushing higher. That coiling right here is basically the lack or the absence of selling pressure, and people get squeezed. This is very typical. Now, that consolidation told me that the buyers were stepping in and the shorts are getting squeezed. Not for a reversal, but for a temporary retracement. And that's where it's going right now. Here's the key part. The short-term structure turned slightly bullish, but the higher time frame is still bearish. That's what you have to pay attention to. Now, on the left side of the chart, we have a clear supply zone way back here. And that's an important part of this whole thing, because here's the thing. The idea is very simple. Let the market retrace, let it move into the supply, right? And then let it align with the broader bearish trend. That is how Link is structured. So it's using the short-term strength to position with the bigger picture and align with the higher probability short. And the exact details, you can see that here, right? The stop loss is set up at 1092, and we have 3 profit objectives. You can see them laid out here very clearly, right? $8.36, $9.10, and $9.78. It doesn't guarantee it's going to reach all of those profit objectives, but you have the plan. And for more details, get into the we'll be updating this in the Telegram channel, so make sure you check that out. Now let's jump over to Link over here. I'm sorry, Ethereum. And here's the thing. This is the first. We're going to kind of look over the weekly because you want to get that broader view. We are in a key area here, right? It's a previous order block. There's a previous support, and we're generally looking for a retracement into this $3,000 area. That's a key level. So you want to pay attention to that on the smaller time frames. Let's take a look. So on the 4-hour, let's move into this here, and you can see the setup. Actually, I shared this on TradingView as well. And I'm waiting for this retracement into this key level, which is basically around 2850 up to the 3000. So there are 2 scenarios that can happen from here. Price retraces back toward that 2700, 2800 area, or price continues lower without giving an entry. That's also a possibility. If price retraces, that move will create the short-term buying opportunity, or the buyers who will step in, and those are the people that are going to get hammered when this thing turns around. The key is to wait for this. If you take the trade now, it's much more aggressive and it's more likely to get squeezed or stopped out because you're selling into that support level, right? So the plan is simple. Wait for the price to retrace into the key level, look for confirmation of weakness on the 4-hour, and then open the trade from there and manage it, right? The profit objective would again become around that $2,100 or $2,000 level, while the risk is defined around that $3,000 level, right? So the 2,800 gives you sort of an early entry, and risk is defined by the 3,000. So that's pretty much it there. Now, so before I wrap things up here, again, people, make sure if you haven't done so yet, make sure you press the like button, subscribe because it helps out. Leave me a comment. Also, make sure to check the Telegram channel. Right, you can sign up for it by clicking on that link in the description. It'll take you here. Make sure you get into that channel because, again, the link will be updated there. Everything is updated there a few times a day. And all trades are taken on the WeX platform. If you haven't tried it out, check it out. It's great. It's great for beginners, and they have excellent tools on there. Also, all trades are tracked on Profit Precision, which is a great journaling platform. Check that out as well. We're using that for the trade challenge. Now, so I'm going to leave you with that. People, I really appreciate you being here. Take it easy, stay patient, and I will see you in the next one.